question for you. Would you continue to watch this video all the way throughout if I've been looking anywhere but directly to you? You probably won't, right? And so if I keep talking like this, I'll be making one of the 7 biggest mistakes that creators make that ruin their YouTube videos. But why does looking directly into the camera even matter this much? Well, let me tell you, when you look directly into the camera lens, you're actually looking directly into the viewer's eyes. And that creates what psychologists call a parasocial relationship. Basically said, it gives the viewer a feeling that they're having a personal conversation with you. However, if I would look into the flip screen, like I'm doing right now, as you can see right there, or even just somewhere to the side or your notes constantly, whatever it is, right? You immediately break that connection. And trust me, viewers will notice that and they'll just simply click off your video. Now let me show you some data that backs this up. So according to the research I did, and when I say I did, definitely don't mean ChatGPT deep research, videos where creators maintain direct eye contact see a significant boost in the most important YouTube metrics. First of all, the viewer attention increases dramatically. People will just watch longer when they actually feel like you're speaking to them. In fact, there's one study that found direct eye contact videos had 37% higher average view duration compared to videos where the creators were either looking in the preview screen of their camera or just anywhere else like I'm doing now, for example. And this doesn't only apply to videos actually. Second of all, thumbnails with direct eye contact get more clicks. Studies found that your CTR can increase by up to 40% when your thumbnail shows you directly looking at the viewer. And by the way, this doesn't mean that your CTR itself will be 40%. It just means that it would be 40% higher than it would be if you would be not looking directly into the camera. And then third of all, this one is actually really important, direct eye contact builds trust and authenticity. When you look directly into the lens, viewers will perceive you as more credible and trustworthy. All right, so let me show you what I do when I start filming. So I get to this recording studio, right? I turn on all of these lights and all of this unnecessary fancy stuff. And then as you can see, I've got a cable that is in my camera that goes into my laptop. And then because of that, I'll be able to see a preview of what I look like on the screen right here to make sure that I'm actually in focus and I can create the shot that I'm looking for. So I just commit to looking directly into the lens. However, I believe that is a skill that you need to train. The first time you're gonna do that, you might occasionally still look at the preview screen out of habit. And so in case you filmed an entire video looking at the preview screen instead of your camera, don't worry, because there's actually a simple fix that you can do to get that same file where you looked at the preview screen and fix it to the point where you're looking directly into the lens. So the tool that I use for this when I make a mistake and that I recommend you use is called Veed.io, and they've got a feature called eye contact correction. So if you go to Veed and you click on eye contact correction, just like this, you can upload your file where you look at the preview screen. So if I put in this clip right here while I did not look into the camera and then let Veed do its thing, you can see it comes out like this. So you can see the difference is quite big. The first clip feels disconnected. It feels like I'm not paying attention to you, whereas the second one creates that instant connection with a viewer, resulting in higher watch time because you're actually speaking directly to them. Now, if you want to try this out yourself in the future because you made this mistake, I'll leave a link to Veed in the description down below, including a 30% discount on whatever plan you choose. But even if you look directly into the lens of your camera, there's something you might do that still make viewers click away quick. In fact, before you even say one word. Now, I like to call this mismatched branding. This is when your visual representation contradicts what you're talking about. Imagine you're watching a video about investing $100,000 in real estate, but the creator is filming from their messy bedroom with poor lighting, and they're wearing a wrinkled t-shirt, which definitely doesn't help. Will you trust them with your money? $100,000? Well, probably not, right? You'd feel like that person doesn't really know what he's talking about simply because he's sitting in his messy bedroom, which sounds like quite a bad thing to do. However, here's the truth. Any human being makes snap judgments. And I got this from research that shows that viewers form an opinion about your credibility in as little as 50 milliseconds. And so that's before you even say a single word. And 94% of these first impressions are based entirely on your visual representation. Now you might wonder, if you're making very simple YouTube videos, how does this matter? Well, this actually goes much further than just your visual representation. It is your appearance, your background, your lighting, and your overall production quality that just needs to align with the value that you claim to deliver. However, it also goes into the technical aspects of your video and what you're actually saying, because it can even be your title and thumbnail that is the problem here. So let me ask you this question. Would you take this guy's advice about how to get 1 million views in 3 days with very secret tricks when he himself only got 7 views? Well, you don't, right? That's common sense. And so I've got one more example here. Would you trust this channel right here with this video to teach you thumbnail design when this was their thumbnail on the video where they're gonna teach it to you? Probably not, right? Because it doesn't look good. And so they're instantly discrediting themselves. And so to fix that, here's what you need to do to align for perfect brand congruence and avoid mismatched branding. So first of all, your visual presentation should match the value of what you're teaching. Me sitting here makes me more trustworthy than me sitting in a messy bedroom and claiming that I've been doing this for years and I have all of this success. Second of all, your background should reinforce and not contradict your message. Your lighting should be clear. It should not be dark or harsh. That creates a very bad effect on your video. And your overall production quality should reflect your claimed expertise. And here's a shocking fact for you. YouTube's own research found that 84% of viewers prefer good audio with average visuals over great visuals with bad audio. My fancy camera and all of this lighting basically mean nothing if my audio sounds like I'm speaking through a drive-through intercom. Now let me show you some real data here. So videos with clear, professional audio, they have been proven to increase viewer attention by up to 35% compared to videos with poor audio. It also significantly boosts the perceived credibility and authority, which generates more engagement through comments and shares, convert more viewers into subscribers, into buyers, etc. Basically, all effects are positive. So this doesn't really have to be complicated. You can use the microphone of your phone, for example. However, what I recommend is you just get a price-friendly microphone on Amazon that can get you decent quality. However, if after your recording, the audio still sucks, or your neighbor, for whatever reason, decided to start drilling holes in his wall as soon as you started to record, and there's a lot of background noise, you can actually upload your audio file in the same tool that I just showed you, which is Veed. And then if you select the clean audio filter, it will automatically clean it up to the point where the viewer's experience is a whole lot better. And so if I keep talking like this, I'll be making one of the 7 biggest mistakes that creators make that ruin their YouTube videos. Now, the 4th deadly mistake that creators make, especially beginning creators do this a lot, is having excessive filler words in your video, which is basically all of the ums and the ahs and the awkward pauses, and all of those have 2 effects. First of all, it absolutely destroys your credibility. Second of all, it sends viewers clicking away, which is not what you want. And so once again, from research, viewer analytics show that even a few seconds of dead air or verbal fluff can cause significant audience drop-offs. On top of that, excessive filler words can reduce a speaker's perceived credibility by up to 30%. Because how would you feel if I would be teaching you something like I'm doing in this video, and I constantly be like, yeah, and by the way, I think this was like, 50%. Would you trust that whatever that would be about would be 50%? No, you won't. However, if it would say like this, research shows that 50% of viewers have actually done this correctly. The presentation, the way I say that, makes it come across a lot more trustworthy, which is boosting my credibility instead of decreasing it. However, I've been making videos for about 7 years now, and so I know that speaking on camera without these filler words is quite a hard thing to do. So for this, once again, I use Veed.io, which makes it extremely easy to cut out all of the boring parts because it does it automatically. So for that, go to the Magic Cut feature, insert your clip just like that, and it's gonna remove filler words, awkward pauses, and mistakes from your video in just one click. And so then once that is done, you can check it, you can download it, and you've improved your video a ton. All right, now the next mistake is different from the others because it is not actually about your video, it's about what you do after you hit publish on your video. So there's a survey that found that 44% of YouTubers have taken breaks specifically because of hateful comments. But it makes sense. I remember when I first started YouTube about 6 years ago. I was uploading videos pretty much on the daily, and then there was someone that left a comment saying that my accent was annoying. Now right now, I think I've done a better job, but back then, I'll show you a clip, my English sounded a whole lot different.
We've reached 300 subs and that's pretty cool.
I was obsessing over this comment for days. It pretty much got stuck in my head, right? And so here's what these successful creators, if done correctly, actually do differently. They will treat comments like a business decision and not like a personal attack. So from research, I found that there's a YouTuber, a tech vlogger actually, which is called Sam Schaffer, who spent years learning to emotionally distance himself from comments. Which sounds like this funny thing, right? I mean, we've got these devices where people reply to someone else on the internet, and that actually impacts another human being. And so the solution for this, if you are getting hate comments or any sort of comments are getting to your head, is not to grow thicker skin. So what I do myself is set better boundaries, which I recommend you do as well. So here's what I do to not get impacted by all of these comments. So first of all, you want to use YouTube's tools to your advantage. So on YouTube, you can create a list of blocked words that trigger you or that are just simply negative words that should not be in comment sections, and you can block them from showing up on your channel. The second thing that I do is I don't look at the comments much at all. So in my YouTube business, I try to look at the data that actually matters, which are my CTR on my videos, my watch time on my videos, and then the revenue in my business. And then third of all, and this one is actually quite important, understand that negative comments say more about the commenter on the other side than about you. And also remember this, for every negative comment that you see, there are probably hundreds, if not thousands of people who actually enjoyed and totally loved your video that didn't leave a comment. So my final message for this mistake, please don't let that one voice drown out the silent majority and make it impact you in a negative way. Then there's something that is killing your YouTube videos that doesn't have anything to do with the videos that you're making, but with what you're doing instead of it. And as someone that is making videos like this, I see this all the time. Because let's be honest, this is not the first video that you clicked that is about YouTube mistakes or how to grow on YouTube or anything along those lines. You've probably watched hundreds of these at this point. However, the fact that you're still here this far into the video shows me that you are probably different. You're probably not one of these people that just clicks all of these videos trying to find a secret hack and then clicks away the first second they realize there is no secret hack. But if you buy free courses, you join 2 masterminds, and you still haven't uploaded a couple of videos, meanwhile, someone with half the knowledge but twice the action is beating you. And so first of all, let me tell you this brutal truth. There is absolutely no secret strategy, secret hack that is magically gonna blow up your channel where you don't really have to do much, but just because it is hack, you'll become successful on YouTube. That just doesn't exist, all right? And I actually have a personal story about this. I had a friend who spent 6 months researching before launching his channel. And so when he finally started uploading 6 months later, guess what happened? His first couple of videos sucked. They were not good, just like everyone else's first videos, including mine, of course. And if you look at big creators' early videos, like Mr. Beast, you can see that he was counting to 100,000. You can see that MKB's first tech reviews were basically shot on a potato, right? And so they didn't wait until they had the perfect knowledge or the perfect strategy to succeed on YouTube. They just started, learned from their mistakes, tried to make a better video every time, and just improved. And by the way, stop copying what I do. So I published this video titled "Forget Canva and Photoshop, this AI thumbnail maker does it all," and it goes absolutely viral. And guess what happens next? Everyone and their uncle starts making the exact same video with the exact same title and the exact same thumbnail. Now, I'm not mad at those people. I really don't mind. That's the game. But it's not a smart move within the game. I mean, in this small market of YouTube growth, there's already 3.7 million people that saw my video somewhere on their YouTube and decided to either click on it or not click on it. And so when they see one of these copycat videos, they probably won't click on it again because the first time with me, they also decide to not click. Or they're gonna think, hey, I already clicked on this, I've already watched this, why would I watch it again? And that was just an example with one of my videos that went viral, but this happens on scale. You can see creators like Mr. Beast giving away millions of dollars, or you can see tech reviewers with their perfect camera work and stuff like that, and you can think, I need to do exactly what they are doing. However, I believe myself that there's a massive problem with this approach. Because first of all, you're trying to compete with established creators on their own turf, with their own style, when they have the resources that you don't. And so when I grew these 4 channels to over 100,000 subscribers, including this channel, I am modeling after what works. However, I'm trying to find unique angles that nobody has covered just yet. And so what I found out is that when analyzing breakout creators from the past year, I discovered that all of them followed a 3-part formula. First of all, they come up with a sticky channel strategy. Basically, what I mean by that is that they're making sure that about 80% of the audience on their channel that either came from their previous videos or just one video would be interested in the next video that they're gonna make. This will create momentum that, first of all, the algorithm loves, and it allows you to build a loyal audience. Second of all, they built a unique video recipe, which basically is a combination of their personality, their production style, and their content value, which made their video feel different than everyone else. I hope that you watching my video as of right now you got more value from this and a different feeling than similar videos with this title that are just telling you to, oh yeah, you must have the file name of your video as the actual keyword, because then YouTube is gonna, like, those are, in my opinion, just gimmicks that don't really have that much impact. And then finally, they built a click system based on proven patterns. However, they don't do this by copying titles and thumbnails directly, but by understanding why certain ones work and certain ones don't, and then adapting those principles to their own styles and formats. For example, with my viral video that I showed you, the Forget Canva and Photoshop one, I didn't entirely come up with that whole format myself, because these titles were working well for creators in the AI niche, where they had titles like Forget Midjourney, Forget Claying AI, and stuff like that blew up. And so I knew the format was proven to work, and my audience likely hasn't seen something like that yet on topics like this. Because remember this, the YouTube algorithm isn't designed to promote videos that are just like every other video. It's designed to promote videos that keep viewers on the YouTube platform. So if you want to avoid some of these deadly mistakes, Vidio can actually help you fix a couple of them, from correcting the eye contact if you're looking at the preview screen or just anywhere slightly but the lens, cleaning up the audio, removing filler words automatically, and even cleaning up your video quality. I'll leave a special link in the description down below, which will give you a 30% discount on whatever plan you choose. Trust me, it will either save you tons of time editing out all of your mistakes, or help you create more professional videos that boost your views, your credibility, and your trustworthiness. And with that said, if you want to learn how I built these 4 channels to over 100,000 subscribers, I've actually made this entire free course for you about getting views that you can watch. I'll see you there.